Nicholson!
Melbourne. Oh, so lovely to be here. Lovely to be here. Hello, I'm Rhys Nicholson, and I, like many men, end of sentence. If you're not on board with that, this is going to be a very long comedy spot for you, because I'm essentially just going to say that in different ways for the next 7 minutes. Lovely to be here. This is the comedy festival. This is my job now. This is how I pay my bills, request extensions upon them. I spend a lot of my time as a comedian travelling around, hanging out in bars, chatting to people. I'm kind of like a sex worker, but I make much less money. And it's a little bit more demeaning. And I've started to do this thing recently where I ask people what they do for a living to see if I've made a horrible decision. And I was chatting to a lady in Perth a few weeks ago, and I asked her what she did for a living. She said, "Oh, I'm an untrained dancer specialising in interpretive movement." And I just thought, no, madam, you've just got legs. Like, I own knives. I'm not an untrained brain surgeon specialising in murder. Like, that's not how that works. I met her husband that night, 22 years old and married. That's gonna last. You can see their wedding as well. Like, he wore a mismatched Op-Shop suit and she tie-dyed her own slip and some berries or some shit. She was like... They're like one of those Gen Y hippie couples, you know, those ones like with their big glasses and their tiny hats and their tame Impala, living in like a crazy 1960s world, but a zany 1960s where someone had a time machine and brought back iPhones, the internet, and their parents' money. And I said to the husband, I said, "What do you do for a living, sir?" And he said, "Oh, I'm a session musician." I was like, "Oh my God, that's so cool. What are you working on at the moment?" So I'm kind of between jobs at the moment. I would think, folks, to be between jobs, you need to have a job like behind and in front of you. He was more like parallel to jobs, like always moving with them, but never merging at any time. Employment adjacent, if you will. I get to see beautiful parts of this country as a comedian. I tour around and see some beautiful parts of this country and the other bits. I was in Queensland late last year. I don't mind Queensland. I'm not built for it, but I don't mind it. And I was in this place called Ipswich, a beautiful, beautiful, glamorous place, ladies and gentlemen. I looked it up. It's named after Sir Robert Ipswich, who invented despair. So I was there with a bunch of comedians doing a show at Ipswich RSL. Mama show business, Rhys Nicholson, not wore a sip to Ipswich RSL. What? Beryl behind the bistro did not enjoy. So we went back to our motor inn that night, the Sportsman motor inn, get a time machine and come and join us, room 6. And we drank ourselves new assholes. I've never been so drunk in my life. And we woke up in the morning so hungover. And we had a whole 2 days to fill in Ipswich before the next show. And we felt like we had seen the sights of Ipswich. Like we had seen the big drain and the Mitre 10 and the Museum of the History of Spousal Abuse. And we weren't sure what to do with the rest of the day. And we're standing there in the hot Ipswich sun and a car slows down and a woman leans out and yells at the top of her lungs, "Go home, Pufter," and keeps driving. Now I was a little bit thrown back. Not because someone yelled at me, because when you go around dressed like a lesbian debutante, people are going to say shit. Although, I was thrown back by the fact that she said Pufter. You never expect to hear Pufter anymore, do you? It's such an 80s word. Like, when you hear Pufter, you think, fuck, you've been bigoted for ages. Things are getting better for my people in general. So we keep asking for tolerance all the time. Like, we're not dairy products. Calm down. But this is how I know that things are getting better, right? When I first moved to Sydney, I was a very naive boy, and then a girl, and then a boy again, and then an old gypsy woman, and then back to a boy. What a weird life. And one night I was walking home in the middle of the night, very drunk, and I was drunk at 19. Remember when you're drunk at 19, you don't just walk home, you just fucking pinball yourself off things and let the vapours of goon carry you home. I was walking home, and basically what happened was I was mugged. Now, I've had a lot of crime happen to me living in Sydney. One night I went to my bedroom, and there was a guy half my window. And I grew up in Newcastle, this kind of country, and I've spent years trying to push down this little bogan inside of me. Moments of stress like that, he just fucking comes out of my face. And so this guy halfway in the window, and I just went, "I will fuck you!" So I don't know. I don't know what that means. But he legged it. He's my boyfriend now. I'm a fast runner. But thank you. Applaud the kidnapping. So what happened, right? I was mugged, right? So these 3 guys came up to me, and for the purpose of this evening, we will call them urban youths. They were white, but no one had told them that. So these three guys came up to me, and the middle one, the leader, he said, "Give me your phone and your wallet." And I was a little bit drunk and mouthy when I was 19. I would not say when I was 19 that I was a drunk slut, but like a real estate agent would say that I was vibrant and up and coming. Like I was spacious. So he said, "Give me your phone and your wallet." And I, a little bit drunk and mouthy, said, "What's going to happen if I don't?" And second one, right-hand man, said they were going to beat you up. And the third one said, "Pretty severely." And that's the exact wording of it. The most polite mugging that's ever happened in the entire world. Essentially a stagecoach robbery. So I give them my stuff. "Have a good night, boys. Good debating." As they're walking away, this is where it got a bit weird. The middle one, the leader, stopped, turned around and said, "By the way, I want you to know this was random." I was like, "What?" And he said, I don't want you to think this was a hate crime. Like, "Oh, thank you very much." And then he said, "Look, my sister's a lesbian. And I think it's really shit you guys don't have gay marriage." I was like, "What the fuck?" Apparently our thieves are pro-gay marriage at this point. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all from me. Thank you very much. Good night.
Rhys Nicholson, people!